Hey, friend.
Good morning.
This is Ramont,
And I'm Reese.
and this is what?
A little R&R, a little conversation with Reese, Ramont and Reese.
Today we're dropping this bonus episode for everyone. In regards to everything that's going on with the United States.
Right.
The world has joined in with protests as well, but particularly the United States as it pertains to um, black and brown people, particularly men of color. And being that Reese and I are both men of color, we come from two completely different backgrounds. However, it still affects both of us. And just to see, for like, where are we at? Like, how do you feel? What's going on? Share our stories. What has happened to us, profiling and everything like that.
Right. It is a lot going on. It's very.
So, where's your headspace right now?
I'm super emotional.
Okay.
I have been so today. No, I'm sorry. Yesterday or the day before, I went to Safeway, and I was coming home and I'm in my car getting it, like having a good old time with my music and everything. And I look over, and it was a cop pulling up next to me at the light. And legit, for the first time, not I won't say it's the first time ever, but I guess for the first time in a long time, I thought, damn, could I potentially get pulled over right now? And what's gonna happen? How is this gonna go down? You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like everything is so heightened, and I think even so. Part of me would feel like, okay, everything is going on. Cops wouldn't be so quick to do this or do that because of what's going on.
Right.
But that ain't it. Like,
No.
I feel like these motherfuckers still doing what they doing, and it's no. They're trying to justify it, and that's it irks my whole entire spirit. So, yeah, I'm. That was a moment, and then this morning, I got on a call with my job, and we just we get together and have a call a couple times a week just to touch base and make sure that everybody has the same information, blah blah blah. And so they brought up everything that's going on, and it just got me emotional. Like, I am a black man in America, and I'm like enemy number one, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you ain't do nothing.
Right. And I think that I spoke like to my team. I was, we were sharing stories or whatever, and I shared my story of like my background, like where I come from and how growing up I didn't experience this, but now it's real. It's like so real to me, and it's just like wow. And I got choked up talking. I was like, this is kind of crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, I can't wrap my head around how and why we as African American men are a target. That doesn't make sense to me. That makes no sense. And I can't wrap my head around it. I can't. And it just, it has me in a place like every night, like when we get into these conversations, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, we were just out and anything could have happened.
Yeah.
And I mean,
the police was behind us when we were driving.
See, I wasn't in my own ride. Because you were driving.
Because I was driving. So it's very much real. For me, emotions have been happening like every day when you just sit and think about it. And like you said, I'm inner city black boy. So mine is completely different from you. Like, I've been profiled 3 separate times. And I didn't do anything. I wasn't in the wrong. And you never know which way it's going to go. And it's said that growing up, you had to have, your family would have those conversations with you. Like, if the police is around, you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to this particular way, or it's going to go completely left. Like, and it's, even with you not doing anything, like, don't make direct eye contact with them, look away, and it's just, and whatever they say, don't argue back, and it's so forth. And it's upsetting when you see your white counterparts that can honestly get away with whatever, in my opinion,
Right.
compared to us. Because if we commit the same crime, I'm gonna get a harsher sentence than what they would.
Absolutely.
And we've read stories, we've seen news articles where they walk off scot-free, and it's either going to be money or just the judicial system itself, as far as how it's unequal between us. With me, born and raised in Baltimore City.
BMO.
First time I was profiled, me and my best friend at the time had dropped off one of our friends at their house. And I say we drove a block from the house. And unmarked police car pulled up behind us, told us to get out so they could search the car.
Like,
Nothing was done. Like, literally, drop them off. All right, see you later. Go down one block, stop sign, about to pull off again. They pull us over.
so was it like we pulled you over because, or it was just get out the car?
They don't ask any questions.
Oh no. See,
they don't ask. So we're just like what's going on? And
Right.
we're just gonna search. We're gonna search the car, and it's what they would do, just see if they could find anything, pin anything on you. And of course, once they're done, they don't find anything. Okay, y'all have a nice night. But it's just like those type of things stick with you. So, the second time with Tonio and I, when we were recording, you remember that? So,
Yes.
the story was we had just finished recording our web series. We were staying at the W
It
in
was
DC.
one of those nice
Um,
hotels,
Yeah, it was nice hotel. We decided, okay, I think you and the other Mike had not finished filming yet, so me and Tony was like, okay, well, we're gonna
we
go
were on our
around
way
here
back.
to the pizza shop and get pizza. It was literally 2 blocks away from the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, unbeknownst to us, 2 black boys with white shirts on or white t-shirts on broke out a cab window, and DC police were looking for them. So Tony and I, minding our business, walking and talking, about to go get his pizza. We are about to cross the street, and the pizza shop is on the other side. And the officer, she pulled up and she said, "Excuse me, can I talk to you guys for a second?" And she gave us the rundown. Hey, we got a call, 2 guys, white shirts. She's like, "I'm not saying this, y'all." She was like, "Let me look at your hands." Because that would tell if we broke out a window.
Mhm.
We'll be bruised, blood, or whatever the case may
Right.
be. She looked, she was like, "Okay, y'all good." And then she looked at how we were casually dressed. My shirt was like polka dot. Tonio's shirt was white, but it had like splatter on there or whatever. But button downs, jeans, a nice shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So we like, okay, understand. Thank you, officer lady. You have a good night. 5 more police cars pull up and block us there at the corner. Like, hit on.
Oh
like,
gosh, I remember
like
the story, but I
rush-
don't remember. Yeah.
yeah, like rush us. And we like, oh, like, what's going on? So we like, okay, this ain't got nothing to do with us. Homegirl right here just cleared us.
Right.
We about to
Keep it
go.
moving, right.
White officer, male, was like, "No, y'all need to stop." We was like, "For what?" Give me y'all ID. For what? She just said that we are clear.
Right.
We're good to go. It's not us. Oh, I still need to see y'all ID. Y'all can't go nowhere. We need to put it into the system so that don't nobody else stop you. No, you need to put my ID in here so you can see if I have any warrants in DC, so you
Yeah.
have a reason to arrest me.
Right.
We're not stupid.
Wow.
So, mind you, park is letting out, so there's drunk intoxication, bitches falling in the middle of the street.
It was a weekend. It was a Saturday, right?
I think a Friday night.
Saturday?
Yeah, it was Friday night. So, yeah, drunk people over here. No one's policing them. No police over there. They just falling loud, crowd letting out, stopping traffic, running across the street. I mean, you're drunk. It was club let out. But all 5 of these cars, everyone's looking at us 2.
That's crazy.
Um,
So then my question is, did the female that you guys had already spoken to?
She told him. She was like, "No, I already checked them. They're good. No, I need their IDs.
What was
I gotta
she
go."
black?
She was more. I think she was Hispanic.
Okay. Other.
Yeah.
Okay.
But overall, she was cool. Like, she didn't say anything. She let us know what was going on.
Right.
Homeboy was just like, no, I need ID.
And I think that that's part of it. Like, you can't. To me, I'm a human being. I don't care. I mean, but because it is a issue with us, so I'm a black man. I deserve the same courtesy that you're gonna give this white man that you pull over and say, "Sir, I'm sorry, I pulled you over because you were going X amount of."
Or if
miles
once your
above the thing.
homegirl already called it in and said, oh, they're good, this, and third, you should have been like, oh, okay, all right, yeah,
Work that
we're
out
sorry.
between y'all.
Exactly. But they wanted the ID so you could have a reason. Because if you put my name and a hit came up, oh, you got warrants, now you're going to... No, because if I was if that whomever didn't break in this cab or whatever...
There would be no reason.
There would be no reason at all. You don't have a reason to stop me. I don't fit your... Only part of your description I fit is I'm black.
Yep.
They said white shirt, white t-shirt. You see clearly I'm casually dressed. I don't look like I break out cab windows. So, then the interrogation outside of ID. Well, where are you guys going? Where are you coming from? Like then the interrogation. It's just like, why? Yeah. For what are we doing this for? For what?
Yeah.
If I don't fit the description, you should not be asking these additional questions.
Harassing. That's
pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much what it was.
To me, especially in that instance where you have someone, another cop who has done whatever needed to be done, and you still want to come on like that. That's to me a lot.
So I had to pull out the hotel room key. Like,
oh, you had to prove. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part of it. I mean, not that any part of it makes sense, but
a lot.
Wow,
then,
that's crazy.
Third story. See,
You've been through. You have been through.
And I don't. And what's so upsetting to me, and me and Dia talked about this because he hasn't experienced the same thing I have experienced. So and I was just like, I feel uncomfortable around police. Granted, I have friends that are law enforcement and everything like that. I get it. I respect them and what they do. But there are police officers that I don't feel comfortable when I see them, when they're in the vicinity. I don't know how fast the situation can escalate. So it makes me very uncomfortable. Then the most recent was me getting pulled over. I think coming from going back home, going through DC. So apparently I found out that in DC you can't... You can't turn in the bike lane, which didn't make sense to me. So I was going to make a right hand turn. So in DC, of course, you know that they have their bike lanes in the city or whatever like that. So me, instead of stopping straight on, I'm gonna pull off a little to the right, look to see if I can go, even though it's a red light, I can still turn, and then turn the corner. Right. I turn the corner, lights go on. What did I do? Are my tags expired? Do I got a tail light out? What's going on? And he stopped me. He was just like, do you know why I stopped you? I hate that question.
This is your I don't know. Tell me.
No, I don't know why you stopped me, but he was just like, you made a right-hand turn in the bike lane, and you're not supposed to do that. And I was just like, I'm sorry. I was like, well, I'm from Baltimore, here's my license. I'm from Baltimore. I said, this rule, I never got pulled over in Baltimore for doing something like that. I was making a right-hand turn, so I figured getting into the right lane, It just common sense. And he was just like, okay, well, of course the license registration BS. So I'm just like, okay. And it was 2 or 3 other officers. They were on the passenger side. So I'm like, okay, hi.
Like, why do you need all these?
Because they were in a truck, so they all got out, whatever. So I'm like, hi, and I had a bottle of water, so I was just drinking my water. They was like, are you drinking water to mask the smell of alcohol?
Wow. Does water mask alcohol first?
So I'm just like, and it took. I was like. And I guess he saw my face. He was like, no. He was like, never mind. Don't answer that.
The one that asked you that.
Yeah, and I was just like, I didn't even have an answer for it.
Right.
Like,
because he probably said never mind because you really didn't have a reason to ask that stupid ass question. Because if I pulled you, I mean, I get it.
you pulled me over for making a right hand. I get in their mind, oh, he has to be drunk
Something
because
has to
he's
be
turned
going
a
on.
right. He made a right hand turn lane in the bike lane. That's illegal in DC. When I was saying, I'm from Baltimore. We don't have these rules. Like
Right.
that, I would have never got pulled over for this. Like, I'm thinking, damn, did I speed around? Like,
What happened?
Are my tags expired? I got a ticket and like, what is it? And
Right.
and that's what you stopped me for? Something that could have been like, oh, and well, here's my license. So in my Baltimore address, well, regardless, Maryland, doesn't matter. I'm not a DC resident. I'm not aware of these DC laws.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we can't even reach your signs.
They don't make sense.
So it's just like, it should have been, oh, okay, got it, have a nice night. Something that simple.
Right. But of course,
That's simple. Like, I didn't get a ticket. Of course, it was just a warning, have a nice night. But I shouldn't not have sat there that long to be able to be asked that question.
right.
Pretty much.
Again, like if it was a turn, okay, let's address that. And I can understand to an extent, like, okay, like you said, you're turning, maybe there is something, maybe you are drunk. But
I get it, and I understand, okay, if there was a biker or whatever the case may be, but it was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so I can get why you assume someone, but no, I'm not drunk, and I was just making a right hand turn.
Right.
I'm not from DC.
I think
so.
They try it. And so when we were talking a little bit earlier, like my experiences is completely different. So I was born in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. There are black people there. A lot of us, actually.
Shout out to the black people in Milwaukee.
Right. 414 stand up. So I was born in Wisconsin. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then I think I left when I was like 4 or 5. My mother got married, and we moved here first, and then to Washington State. So I grew up in Washington State, and Washington State is just very diverse. Well, where I grew up, it was a military, majority military. So it was a lot of everybody. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of diversity. There wasn't a bunch of blacks. There wasn't a bunch of white. It was a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. So I didn't ever have experiences with being like racially profiled or anything like that. Like I didn't experience firsthand any racism. I knew what racism was. I was aware of that. My mother had those conversations with me. And like you said, this is what you do if you're ever in a situation. But to me, the way I registered it was that is just how you were because that's how you were, not because you're a black kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then...
so you thought the conversation was had with every child?
Yeah, it's just like a general thing. Like if the police pull you over, don't give them a reason and da-da-da-da. Like keep your hands... keep them visible. Be respectful. Whatever they ask, don't go for nothing until they ask you and all of that. Now, I obviously know why we were having those talks. But even in my adult years, I've never had a situation that I can think... Like, there's nothing that I've never felt like I was racially profiled or that anything was done to me because I was black. But now, like, and not even just now, but I feel like these different scenarios that play out, now it's just like, God damn. I am a target because I'm a black man. Like, It has nothing to do with anything else. You don't know where I come from, what my background is. It's simply the color of my skin could potentially have me in one of the situations you had or dead somewhere because of the color of my skin. And I just feel like, what the hell? Like, how and why? And that's the part that really frustrates me, and it gets me, like I said, emotional to an extent, because it's like when I leave out the house, I really think about where am I going? What could happen on my way there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love Target, and I would be in Target all day or whatever, walking around doing my thing. And I'm just like, okay, so what if a time comes I'm in Target doing whatever and I put my hand in my pocket? You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that you don't really think about, I think about now. Because I'm like, okay, anything. And I think that is just it's mind blowing that that's where we are in 2020. That's where we are, and it's only gotten worse over the years. Like, let's not forget
Right.
things that happened in 2019 and 18 and
Yeah.
beyond, like our prior to. But it's just crazy to me. It's really like, what the hell?
But and even what's more upsetting is the fact that outside of police and us being having to be cautious and self-police ourselves, there's also work. There's also just being out in public in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's exhausting, and it's sad that we can run off our resume of where we come from, what degrees we have, how much money we make, but to a white person that can work at a, a corner store, and a black lawyer could walk in with a Harvard degree, and you will still be the black N word to him.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day,
Yep.
you mean nothing to him
Because of your color.
because of the color of the skin, regardless of what you do, how much. And like they say, we always got to work 10 times harder than them to show that we're proven, and continue to work harder than them to even be accepted into something. And like I said, you can be in Target, and honestly, some white people make me uncomfortable. Because I don't know what I'm going to do that's going to set you off, tick you off, or make you feel some kind of way.
Right.
And I could just be minding my business, but I'm a little black boy right here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you ever been followed in the store?
I have not been followed. Now I do have a story that pissed me off, and I think had I had the mindset now, I probably wouldn't have bought what I bought there because of it. So, it was one of my birthdays. I went to Arizona to visit my best friend, and I had wanted a wallet from Louis Vuitton. I wanted this particular Louis Vuitton wallet, and I was like, "Oh, when we come, that'll be part of my birthday thing. We'll go out and do it." So we go to the store, and a little ritzy place, like nice little outdoor mall.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in there going to Louis Vuitton, and no hello, no nothing. Like, we walk in and I'm looking around it. At first I didn't think nothing of it, because when I go into a store, I'm not necessarily always greeted. So whatever. Didn't think nothing of it. And so then I found the wallet, and I was like, "Excuse me, can I see the wallet?" Like, I wanted to see it, touch it, feel it. And so she pulled it out, and I was like, "Okay, so I'm looking at it," and she was just kind of like not really giving me the attention that I felt like I needed as a customer. It wasn't that I needed her to be all in my face, but she legit was like, "Here you go. So let me like look at it." And then she was talking to her homegirl, her coworker. And I was just like, "Okay, so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get it because I want it." And then I got also a car case, little smaller wallet, whatever. So she was like, well, and this is what pissed me off. She said, "That wallet costs whatever it costs." Bitch, I didn't ask you how much. I said I want it. I said, "Okay, and I want this too." And so I was sitting there like, what? That's what made me say, "Hold up." So had I been in the state of mind that I'm in now and recognized it for what it was, I would have just been like, "No, thank you." And not even probably that nice, but I went ahead and got it or whatever. Nice. But then it's like the whole thing changed, because now I can't afford this, and now you're good with getting this coin because you're getting this coin. But the fact that I'm a black guy, and I wasn't dressed no type, like I wasn't dressed, I don't really dress
Right.
Urban, if not even urban. I don't wear big clothes and nothing like that. So dressed kind of a regular t-shirt, probably some jeans or whatever. So I wasn't dressed any particular way, but
you don't
still,
need to be.
And I shouldn't, right? But my point is, yeah, that wasn't right, and I feel like, again, looking back, I would have addressed that a completely different way. Like, I just feel like that's why. Because again, and that's what I can't get past. The color of my skin dictates to you, not you, but to people that I am a certain type of person.
Automatically.
Yeah, and
I
can't wrap my head around, because I don't look at all white people. So I will say this: I don't like people in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't like certain types of people, and they come in every color of the rainbow. And that's me. I just don't like certain people, certain personalities, or whatever it is. That's what. But I've never been like, oh my god, I can't stand bitch because she's a white bitch. Like,
oh yeah, I never had that.
yeah, like I don't look at any one person of any ethnic background or sexual preference or anything in any certain light. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just you give me a reason not to fuck with you or not to like you, then that's what it is. But I'm not gonna say, okay, Ramont, you're a little light skinned and you act this way, so all y'all are this way, and I can't fuck with none of y'all.
Right.
Like that doesn't make any sense to me, and it never will. And I think that the unfortunate thing is we've been doing this for how long, and it's like, okay, now it's right in your face. Everybody sees it. Now what are we gonna do? What are the people and the rhetorical questions, but what are we gonna do? One, and how is it gonna happen? Because you have to understand and know that there's a problem. Not and I feel sometimes that
I mean, they know that the others know that it's a problem. They just don't want to do anything about it.
I think that what they want is to make us feel like they understand.
They don't.
And you won't. So there's
definitely won't.
That leads me to this. So there was a Khalid Wright is Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, black man, amazing. He wrote a letter, and the one piece of it that just gave me I was just like, oh my god, this man is so great. He said, "You might think that you know what it's like to grow up, exist, survive, and even thrive in this country as a black person. But let me tell you, regardless of how many black friends you have, how black your neighborhood was, or if your spouse or in-laws are black, you don't know." And I think that is so profound. And it's to me, the message is, don't try to feel like you don't need to. Other people, like other races, don't need to feel like they know our struggle.
You don't.
Respect that there's a struggle and do something about perpetuating that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I just feel like I feel like, and I haven't heard it personally, but I feel like some people are. I understand. No, please. That is the last thing I want anybody to say to me right now. That you understand, or no.
You don't understand. You don't
because
understand.
You are not. Unless you look like me, you don't understand.
You'll never understand.
And even me and you sitting across from each other right now, I understand your struggle, but I had those experiences. I haven't experienced that. So I feel like I might feel a little different had I been in your shoes and had I experienced the thing that you, and vice versa. Like the lack of my dealings with those type of situations may make you feel differently. But at the end of the day, we can have that conversation and we can relate, and I can really see where you're coming from because we are of the same. Right now, today, we can walk down the street and we're going to be treated equally versus me walking down the street with someone that is Caucasian or whatever. They may not be. It may be, oh, okay, do you know him? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
absolutely.
You with him? Like I need somebody to vouch for me. No. I am almost speechless because I just feel like this is way too much. It's just way too much, and it's unfortunate, and I don't know what is going to create the change that's needed. Like, that's what scares me is like, is there going to be a change? Like, when it's all said and done,
after all the protesting and everything like that,
my nieces and nephews, my friends' kids, like, are we still gonna have to have these conversations? Like, you are black. I mean, and I feel like those are the conversations. My friends that do have children, those are like legit, and it's legitimate. And you like, have to wear down. You are a black child. I mean, mainly men, mainly boys, because I feel like that is for whatever reason we're a threat to society. I mean, like,
yeah, clearly.
But I mean, even to the little black girls out there, like black people in general, we are somewhat of and there may be strength in that, but something's gotta happen. And I don't know. I don't know what that is. I wish I had an answer, or
I mean, we're gonna see what's gonna come out of all of this, and it's it's a conversation. It's the protesting that is going on, which is needed. I understand it. I understand the protest. I know why they are doing it. I mean, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Listen to me.
these
That's
are
what
the
we're
things
saying.
that are going to happen, and I still want all the people to vote because the when you think of the police, the state's attorneys, the judges that are put into place, those are those small elections that some people choose to sit out of and don't, vote for because you feel as if like that's not going to affect me. I don't need to worry about that. But they're the ones that are controlling these police departments and allowing them to do whatever they want to do. Yes, it does go up the chain. However, like we gotta vote for everything and not even just because it's a black person on a ballot. What does that black person stand for?
Right.
Because we've seen some that
Ain't for us.
right.
Ain't for
So
us.
and you and I, we're not political, we're not, activists out there to know all that, but we're we're black men, so we know.
We're here, and like you said, that there's
And we know to read up on these particular people, these people that we're putting in offices and everything like that, to find out what interests do you have. Will you benefit me and people that look like me?
exactly that's the biggest thing.
What is your record?
Yeah, like how do you plan on implementing whatever to ensure that there's equality? Like I feel like
that's all that we want. We just want equality.
Which isn't anything, because I feel
Like, why am I a threat to you, but he's not?
Right.
I don't get it. Why is it? I mean, even in the workplace, like, I don't. When it comes to white people, it's a certain way you have to talk to them. You can't be too passionate about something that you believe in, yeah, anything, because then you're aggressive.
Right.
Then they'll, send those emails of how they made you feel threatened and scared and so forth. You're just like, no, like you were just wrong, and I told you were wrong. Like it is what it is.
It's a tone thing. Like
it's a tone.
Like sometimes, and it's again, I don't know if it's a white black thing, but I've been in situations where, early in my career, I was a little reckless. I said what I wanted and that's what it was. So, people would be like, "Yo, But sometimes it was like you said, it was passion. It's. I enjoy my job. This is what I'm here to do. And if you're gonna do something that's gonna interrupt that flow, and this is what I'm responsible for,
yeah, I'm gonna speak on it.
I'm gonna put you in the place that you need to be to ensure that you get on board with what's going on.
And at that point, I need you to understand.
Yeah, but then because of that, because of my tone or because of the way that I'm coming, I'm aggressive. No, I'm not aggressive. I'm passionate. Mm-hmm. And we can all be passionate, but why does my passion look like anger or frustration or a threat to anybody? Like that doesn't make, again, I can't say it enough. I don't understand. I will not understand. I won't accept that the color of my skin is a threat. That's let me do something
to you.
Let me put my hands on you, or let me steal from you, or let me do these aggressive, nasty things.
Let me cuss you out before you say I'm aggressive.
But not based on the color of my skin. Like that, it doesn't sit well with me at all. And again, it's seeing these things time and time again, and people trying to justify that. That unnerves me. There was a young lady on, I don't even call her a young lady. There was a person, this woman, on, it was on social media. It was on Instagram. And she had posted a picture or a video, I can't remember. And she basically was like, "Oh, I'm only 5 foot whatever." And this 6'2", yeah, this 6'2" whatever guy put his
knee on my
neck, and I didn't die. Bitch, if you don't go somewhere and sit down. Like, to me, there is no reason. There's no...
that's the level of disrespect for someone's life.
Exactly. And I can't. I cannot. Like,
just because it didn't happen to you, the fact that it happened to someone else should just be enough of... okay, yes, it did. Oh my God, I'm glad I walked away from that, but I can see how that man died. You know what I mean? Like,
But I don't even need you to say that, ma'am, because she was othered. I don't even need you to say that because at the end of the day, you're trying to justify what happened. You and me, if I sit here and put my knee on your neck, do you think I'm going to apply pressure to try to hurt you? Absolutely not, because we're reenacting something, right? So the intent, like that makes no sense to me at all. Pointless, because
she was just doing a reenactment. This
like
wasn't.
she was on the floor.
I thought she was saying like this happened to me.
No,
before.
no, no, no.
Oh.
She was reenacting it.
Yeah, he wasn't applying pressure, and it wasn't intentional to do it.
And then she says in the post or on her thing or whatever, it said something to the effect of, and had he not been moving around or no. She said something about him saying that he couldn't breathe. That's what a lot of criminals or whatever do to try to get the police to ease up on them.
Black people. That's what a lot of black people do. That's all she. That's what she should have said. That's what you meant.
And my thing is, just don't say anything. Say nothing.
The thing is, they don't know how to not say something. They feel as if they have to say something.
This ain't your fight. Like
they don't understand what that is. It's like they purposely want to insert themselves into things that don't pertain to them or involve them at all, and then speak on it wrongly. Like it's some type of compassion. Oh, I understand. Or this wouldn't happen if he did. No. Like
I said,
because this isn't the first time that this has happened.
Exactly.
And like it's been going on for centuries.
And the unfortunate thing is, this is the emotional part, because the unfortunate part of it is it's gonna happen again, and it could potentially be you or me. We're sitting here right now having this whole conversation about how this shit could go on. It's not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like it's gonna stop today, and that's just reality. But it could be one of us. Because of the color of our skin. We're not a threat to society.
Correct.
But because the color of our skin, we could potentially be the next. And again, anybody trying to justify that gets under my skin, because how do you watch a man die, plead for his life and die, and then try to put yourself in that situation? That doesn't make any sense to me.
And not even under the same intent, the same actions, what was going on.
You know why? I think that she felt comfortable doing that because that shit'll never happen to her.
Exactly.
She won't have to go through that because she won't. That's what she looks like. She won't have to endure.
I mean, it's a lot of things that we've seen everything online as far as everything that they say and do because they can. There is no consequences behind it. Granted, there have been consequences recently because of the age of social media and people actively looking to see who are these people, where do they work, what school do they go to, sounding off. We're sounding off, and we're making it an issue, and that's because we're going as we were made examples of back in the day, as if they made example of us to put us in our place, is what we're doing now. And if it's going to affect your livelihood, then so be it. Maybe next time you'll think about what you're going to say or what you're going to do.
Or how you're going to, And let me say this, because I don't want it to, and I think that we haven't discussed this piece, but I would think that I speak for the both of us when I say that we're not anti everybody else.
You know God, no.
It's
not at all.
I'm speaking when I'm talking about these people, these others that are
racist.
Yeah, that
pretty much.
I'm not grouping any one group together. I'm talking about everybody that is a racist. Like that has to stop. And I have friends of all kinds of all other ethnic backgrounds. And some people are like, oh, these people need to speak up. And listen, I don't have a quote unquote requirement. I'm not looking at my other friends like say something because I don't want you to say the wrong thing. And I'll leave it at that. Because at the end of the day, what I believe and what I feel, that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I've learned that ain't for the public. So sometimes shut up, say less. And if you feel that I'm wrong or I shouldn't feel how I feel,
Then we have a problem.
we do have a problem. It would be nice to know, but say less. It'll keep us both out of any situations. Because I feel like I'm going to react to that. At where I am now, as emotional as I am about what's going on now, I wouldn't want to have that interaction. You know what I'm saying? If somebody had to, I just wouldn't want to have that conversation or interaction with anyone because, yeah, I just don't. But I don't, by any means, I don't want to end this with anyone feeling like, oh my God, you're talking about people hating black people, and oh my God, you're talking about, no, it's not, I'm not talking about just white people, I'm talking about everyone that has a problem with and has engaged in behavior against black people for the simple
Yeah,
fact
because
that
I
they're
mean, it's also some black people. You know,
Of course.
it's people of all, like I said, all ethnic backgrounds. That don't see it for us and try to justify what happened. So, like I said, we're speaking to all of them.
Right.
I mean, especially don't tell me how I should feel or how I should have acted in that situation, or and what kills me, oh, maybe you should have did this, or no, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
And especially you with the experiences that you have, it just seems like I couldn't imagine, as your friend, I couldn't imagine saying, well, what did you do? Or you could have done this, or you could have, not in those instances. Like, I think that some people should just say less.
So, I mean, those...
This is heavy.
It is.
But it's heavy. I mean, it's what we're in right now. This is, on top of a pandemic, it's this all of this going on.
Wow. Whew, I'm glad we got to talk about this one because we haven't really sat and talked.
No, we haven't really had this conversation.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
So this was good.
Yes.
Needed.
I feel like I learned a little bit more about you, and I didn't know you. Well, I knew you from.
I mean,
Baltimore.
yeah, people. It's from Baltimore. Yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, people look at me and think, oh, he has this or he does this, that, and the third, but I've been profiled more than many of my friends.
Right.
And I don't hang out in the roughest neighborhoods or put myself in those type of environments and predicaments because, again, those are the conversations that you have with your parents, especially growing up in the inner city, as far as where you are to hang out at and where not to hang out and what time you should be home. And if you're going to be here, stay there. Like, it's things that are said to you. So, like, growing up and, like, I took all that in. So, certain things that I just don't do just so I don't get put into those predicaments because you never know what the outcome is going to be.
Right.
Never know.
And that's, again, it's just very uncomfortable not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's an uncomfortable thing, and it's like, damn. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's because of the color of my skin.
It sure is. It sure is.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. Well, hopefully, I'm not going to say it's not going to change. I don't want to put that out there.
No.
A change is going to come. I'm hopeful.
Take some time, I think.
I'm hopeful for a change.
Absolutely.
Clearly, a change is needed. And, I'm not expecting us to wake up tomorrow and there's a reform for, the whole, for all police officers and, they're doing special training or they found everyone to be corrupt and they're doing away with it all and everything's being revamped. Like, I'm not expecting to wake up to that tomorrow, but I'm just hopeful that a change is going to come and that the conversations will be had, the investigations will be done to find out what can be done to basically stop this.
Right.
And why can't I be treated the same way my other counterparts would be treated in a traffic stop, or just because they were, I mean, what are our things that we can't do? We can't bird watch while black. We can't jog while black.
Right.
Can't drive while black. Can't buy candy while black.
You can't
sell cigarettes while black.
You shouldn't be black.
It's so many different
You
things.
can't be
So
at your own house.
no, yeah, you can't
You
bet your own
can't be
house
in
while
your own
black.
house. Like what? Yeah. I and when just to your point about the change, I want to be around to see it.
Yeah, I would love to.
I would love to be around to see it, and I think that that's what makes it so frustrating is that we have like my grandmother passed away, and I'm sure that me and her never sat down and had those conversations, but I can only imagine the thing that she went through because she was. I'm thinking I don't want to age her too much, but I'm assuming that she was around during those slavery times, so she
Mm.
probably saw a lot more, or even if she wasn't around then, just at least the racism was heightened when she was younger, and
Hmm.
she didn't see a change. I mean, there was a change, but it wasn't. It didn't end. It hadn't stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because we're
Hmm.
here. She passed away a few years ago. We're here going through this. So she passed away.
It was a change in some things that affected us, but the people were still there,
Not
pretty
enough.
much.
It's not enough, and that's what's unfortunate. It's the changes that to be born and not be equal because of one stipulation. Not even a stipulation because it's not. It's because of my that I can't. I feel like I'm a broken record, but
It's
I
okay.
can't. I can't. It just does not sit well. My spirit is bothered, and I just pray. I pray that a change is coming much much sooner than later. I pray for everybody listening. I pray that you guys are being safe.
Hmm.
Making good decisions as far as this pandemic, but also being cautious and aware of your surroundings,
Yeah.
and that if you find yourself in a situation that it doesn't end tragically.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, thank you guys for listening to us. We do hope that everyone gets out there and vote,
Absolutely.
especially your local elections, not just the presidential race, definitely those local elections as well. Again, stay safe. And to everyone that has a black man in their lives, either it be son, father, brother, uncle, let them know that you love them and that they're still here because honestly, you just never know. Um, so again, thank you guys for listening.